Maybe Jacob shows up. Geneva sometimes shows. We'll see.
Nito.
Post on
Oh, I see it. I see myself.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas post show.
Woo! How was everyone's Christmas?
It was good. I can't complain.
That was very good. Very relaxing. Oh, we got one viewer. Woohoo!
It's probably my sister.
Oh. Well, thank you to our one viewer. Yeah. So I'll get started. People will watch while it's recording. But Merry Christmas, everyone. This is the Christmas post show for episode 9, special episode. Because I figured people would rather watch on Christmas than Christmas Eve. I don't know if I'm correct there, but good episode nonetheless. So we have Madison here, first timer. She played in a future season 3, along with Sabrina. She's on here first time for the post show, so she'll give her winners picks at the end, but we're happy to have her here. Yes. And then we have Sabrina. Sabrina was here last week. She is back again for this episode. And sadly, someone who could not make it, in homage, we have Jason Ding. Jason also played in season 3. He couldn't make it tonight. Something came up. Christmas, of course. So we wish him well. We wish him a Merry Christmas as well. And we hope to see him in the future post show. So yeah, shout out to Jason.
Love Jason.
Great kid, all around great kid. Season 3 is a great season. I'm excited for you guys to see it in the future, hopefully by the summer, if not sometime. I don't know. We'll see. Awesome. But yeah, so episode 9. So this is a very interesting episode, if I do say so myself. I think this episode we got to see a different side of Andrew. I think this was Andrew's episode. And personally, I loved Andrew as a player. He was such like a free spirit type of guy, especially behind people like Jack and Eli and Hannah, who took the game so seriously. Andrew was kind of like this good presence, I guess. He wasn't a big strategy guy. He wasn't a big threat, but at the same time, this episode I really saw a lot out of him. And he actually showed up in my power rankings. I do power rankings each week. For the episode, and he was number 1 this week, but
an honor.
Unfortunately he got voted out. So, but he had a good time doing it. So we'll walk through the episode. So let's see. Let's start off with the kind of aftermath of last. Oh, Merry Christmas, Geneva. Hopefully you had a good Christmas. Woo. So let's start with the aftermath. As Geneva said, Geneva pulled off this great finger strategy, kind of pointing it towards Addie, so Addie could tell Derek who to play the idol on. It worked out in her favor. Summer's like, who the hell flipped? What the hell happened? Andrew's like, I'm so pissed. Those are 2 of my final 2s gone. Eli and Jack back to back. What did you guys view of that strategy from last episode?
I thought it was crazy. I thought that was a bold move by Geneva, and the execution just really worked out in her favor. She kind of from my point of view, kind of took over the game with that move because they got rid of a number. They got rid of Jack, which I feel like was a very, very powerful player. And yeah, Geneva gained a lot of points with me for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agreed. Also, just even before she pulled off that move, she had already figured it out, put the pieces together, like we were saying last week. Even before Summer showed her Austin's name on her arm, the wheels were already turning. So I think it was just all around a very, very cool move.
Hell yeah. I remember I even had a confessional during this episode that I was absolutely shocked when this happened. Just because I knew Jack was this big presence in the season, and just having him go out that way was just wow. It was Plus, I really didn't even know it was happening while it happened. I kind of came into the tribal council not knowing what was going to happen. I knew an idol was going to be played, but I didn't know it was going to be played on Austin. And then boom, next thing you know, Jack was gone. It was crazy. So great move there by Geneva. And now going into this next episode, the numbers are kind of like 5-5 with Maroon 5 and Zeleny. So we enter this Dizzy Bat competition. So I don't know if you guys have had any Dizzy Bat experience. No spoilers, but this is a very, very hilarious challenge. We see kind of these little heats go on, and then at the end we see Derek actually pull away with it. Getting some mud stains on his jeans, of all things, that he was wearing. What did you guys think of this challenge, and how fun was it watching it as these players just fell on their asses just like Austin did?
That was so fun. It was so fun to watch. Definitely a really good challenge. Like, I think that was just like a very good challenge to start off, like, I guess the thick of the merge. Because there was no challenge last week, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
no, that was last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like first real challenge of the merge. I think it was just a really fun way to start it off. I am like a Derek fan, so super happy that he won that. But yeah, I mean, he competed against two other really strong challenge competitors, and yeah, really great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Derek took me by surprise. I gotta say, I was super proud of him, especially in that last heat of things. He was going up against some big boys. There was Sean, and he just took it away. And I think it was a really important vote for him to have.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I remember I was like play-by-playing this entire challenge, and I was like, oh shit, Sean's gonna win this. Sean was just like, after he played it so well, and we've seen it in season 1. I don't know if you guys have seen season 1, but Sean would like kill it in these challenges. So entering this challenge, I was like, Sean's gonna win this. The first fucking what is it called? The first heat that he was in, he spinned, he collected himself, and then he totally just sped, beating out Abby just by running. Then taking a nice little shot, and he synced it.
Yeah, and he held it there. So.
Oh yeah, it really came down to just the pong skills, I guess. I guess Derek is a big pong guy. Who knows? Just get you a man like Derek, period.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Derek is the dad we all need. I mean, wearing jeans to an active challenge, and I let the people know, I let the cast know what the challenge is going to be, like an active or non-active. This man wore jeans to an active challenge. I'm just hilarious. Not the last time someone wears jeans to an active challenge, though. We'll see that next season.
He's not wrong.
Jack also still emotionally shook. Don't worry, Jack. Your presence was definitely felt. Okay, your man's who can compete in jeans like Derek can. Oh, 100%. If a man can run in jeans as well as Derek can, there's a lot of things that man can do that. If you know what I mean. So Derek gets that flashy bling. It's a new idol necklace. Valentina modeled it off in the beginning of the episode. He's pegged as a SoundCloud rapper in one of the taglines this week.
Yeah.
And that introduces a new segment in the post show for today. Is the taglines. So we have some special taglines this week. Let me get rid of that banner so people can see. So we have this one, great one by our editors. Derek, SoundCloud rapper, as you can see, with the bling. Amazing.
There he is.
Let's see if we can get some other ones. Oh, this one's for Jack, I guess. So we saw Mike actually rep the Jack look a lot this week, in homage to Jack, wearing the hat and the hood. So Jack, your presence was definitely still felt. And we'll get into that idol exchange later. Some other good ones along with the Jack thing. Mike, which hat will he wear? It's a good one. And then seconds later, if you guessed orange, you were correct.
There we go.
Editing this vlog, sorry I'm talking a lot, but editing this vlog he was sent in like a 30-minute vlog. And he like tried on every single hat for some reason. And then he just kept talking with this orange hat, so I was like, I have to make a joke out of this.
quality content.
Oh yeah. And lastly, Derek, looking like a history professor. And I know this is a bathroom in Newhouse, Derek. You're not slick. I know you're vlogging in a bathroom here. So yeah, those are the featured taglines this week. Okay. So let me stop talking. Let's talk to you guys. So first off, we see Andrew kind of, pony up and say, I need to go on this revenge tour. Jack and Eli are gone. They're both my biggest allies. It's time for me to make moves. Do you think Andrew was right in saying, like, this is my time, I have to start playing or I'll be out?
Yeah, for sure. I think it was his time to step up. My heart went out to him with his allies being voted out, but like he wasn't lying. He had to step it up and make a bold move.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely bold what he chose to do. I'm just so sad that we were finally, I feel like, able to see Andrew like in the merge, just to only see him get voted out this episode. Like, he definitely had the heart, and he had that, like, he knew he had to do something, which is huge when you're in the merge. Like, he knew that he had to build up his resume. He wanted to get to it before it was too late, and unfortunately it did not pay off, but his head was in the right place anyways.
Oh, 100%. And Mike even said it himself during his little hat vlog. His hat vlog. He was like, I kind of regret voting out Jack because he was a big shield for me. I'd rather vote off like a silent threat like Andrew or Erica, who,
Shield.
People don't readily see as threats, but they're kind of big threats at the end of the day. Let's talk about that. Do you think voting off Jack this early into the merge will benefit players like Mike, or do you think it will hurt them in the end? Because Mike is this big threat now. Since he's taken out Eli, he's taken out Jack.
I think it definitely would have helped Mike to keep Jack around. That was a really good point that he brought up in that vlog. Because it's always nice to have a shield around to like take like all the heat off of yourself. I mean, unfortunately, Mike didn't realize that till after Jack was voted out, but I think now that he's realized that, he can like try to work with it and maybe try to direct that heat somewhere else.
No, I'm 100% in agreement. I think that Mike, it's just so hard to know what's going around in the game, like beyond your immediate circle. So it is important to have those big targets around you to kind of like take some of the salt and the drama away, and so you can kind of skirt on underneath the covers there. But I think Mike had a great point, and it's a shame that he didn't realize that until too late. And hi, Valentina, I love you too.
Yeah, Valentina. Shout out to Valentina. Hope you had a great Christmas. So let's talk about Mike, and let's talk about kind of their alliance. So you have Mike, Addie, Derek, and Geneva. Mike gets the idol clue, and then all four of them go out searching right after the challenge. And then we see Geneva. I saved this little chat. Well, the merge has been my revenge tour so far. I've had 5 allies voted out pre-merge. Ha ha ha. And we really see Geneva prove again that she's a big threat in this game as she finds her second idol in this game. And just to point it out, there's been 4 idols found. Well, 5 idols found during the season, which is a lot. Wow, trust me. But 4 of those idols have been females. And I don't think that's ever been accomplished by a Survivor college. And even in the show, I don't even know if in a season 4 idols have been found by females, 2 each. So congrats once again to Erica and Geneva. And we see again that Geneva has the ability to find these idols. So yeah, what do you guys think about just that core group of 4 plus Austin, I guess, and Geneva finding that idol? What was your immediate reaction?
I thought it was a big flex. I thought it was really good for them, especially because no one really knew how the vote was going to go. And I think having as much reassurance as possible was huge. Because if you know you have an idol, you have a little bit of leeway to kind of plan around any sort of big moves you could hear on from the other side. So Big deal.
True.
Yeah, especially with a vote that close, having an idol is definitely reassuring. It'll definitely make you also more confident when you're trying to make those big moves that like you definitely need at this point of the game. So finding an idol at that point is just like Madison said, like a big flex. And like in the end, like it worked out for them at that vote. Like they played it right, like a second tribal in a row.
I worry that's going to put an even larger target on them, though.
Yeah. So, like, let's talk about that a bit. So, Geneva in the episode gives the idol to Mike. We're not really 100% like clear on why she did that, but I think a part of it was just to get the target off of her as this big threat, and Mike kind of went along with it. Do you think it was a smart move for Geneva to give it to Mike to play, to keep that like undercover act for Geneva, like posing as, oh, Geneva's still on Maroon 9. She's still your vote, and she like acts surprised when she votes for Austin and stuff like that. That's the whole plan. It's kind of confusing, but that's the whole plan. Do you think it was a smart thing to give the idol to Mike for him to play, or should she have just played it herself?
I think it's a good idea in theory, but what's scary is just like if it is of convenience to Mike, he can just kind of tell that that's how it went down. He has the vlogs to prove it, so it's really easy for that plan to kind of fall apart. But really good idea in theory, and it's definitely going to take a possible target off her back, but still risky.
Yeah, the right motives were definitely there. But ultimately, like, word will get around within Survivor, and like people can put those pieces together. But I think in that moment, Geneva did make a good move for herself, because like when you're this far in the game, like it's good to like just take things step by step, just because you never know how much longer you have, and Geneva did what she had to do. So
That's fair. And we'll talk about a little bit about Geneva and Mike and that whole exchange, especially with Addie coming in a little bit further into the episode. But let's first talk about the advantage that Sean gets. So it wasn't seen in the edit because it took too long, but before the tribal council last week, they got to vote on who would get the last snake. And if the person got voted off at tribal, then they wouldn't have gotten that snake, yada, yada, yada. Sean ends up getting the snake, and he gets this information that in the next challenge after this tribal council, there's going to be an auction, and there's going to be an idol, once again, another idol, hidden underneath the table of the auction table. And he has to just be stealthy or grab it or whatever without anyone noticing it. He claims that he just wants it. What do you think will come of it? Do you think he'll just go and grab it with everyone knowing it, or do you think he'll be stealthy? Do you think he'll tell someone else and they'll get it? What do you think?
It's crazy, because when I think of a play like that, that's just really important that you're kind of the only one that knows about it. But he was very insistent in the episode saying that he's going to tell everyone. It's going to be offering to them to like try and build trust. But like, I don't know what you can do with that if everyone knows it's there, because it also depends on if he's called first or if another person's called first. Whoever gets to that table first is going to be the person that gets it. So,
100%.
Yeah, it can definitely be a risky move. I mean, with a lot of the advantages and the idols that have been played this season, a lot of it was out in the open. It sticks true to that theme of just idol get in this season. But I think for Sean's situation, it would probably benefit him more to keep it secret. But when he has to grab it that way, like it is very hard to do that.
Yeah. So. Oh, good insight. Great insight. So yeah, let's talk about advantages, and let's talk about an advantage that wasn't used this week, which, in my opinion, really should have been. So Abby decides not to use her advantage. She wants to save it for another vote, and she wants to it has future benefits, as Erica says. We see a vlog with Erica, #Stressy Erica this week. She's like, what the fuck is going on? This is such a simple vote. It's 5-5 right now. We steal a vote, 6-4, and then take out Geneva and Addie. But all everyone wants to do is just bring over Geneva and Addie and save this steal a vote. What did you guys think about this? Personally, I thought Erica was right. They should have just used the
She
floor
was
vote.
not wrong.
Agreed.
What do you guys think? Do you think looking forward to the future and saving this cancel a vote was smart? I mean, like, was the better move, or do you think just using it and focusing on this one vote, making sure you have it right, was better?
Yeah. I think Erica was definitely right in that vlog, 100%. Like, they had like very concrete plan. Like, they had their numbers. I think if they had done that, it would have definitely worked in their favor. But it, like, when you want to get all fancy with like stealing the votes, it's just like, I feel like if they have a solid vote planned, it's just like, why try to make it super complicated with something you don't know is going to go right, especially with people that you don't completely trust.
Mm-hmm.
I think her words that stop telling people the plan really rang true, especially with Geneva, because if you, from my perspective watching the season, if you give Geneva a bunch of information, she's going to use that in an amazing way. But if you're on the other side of that, look at what happened with past players being voted out. Like, it's just, you got to be careful with that information you're giving out. With that being said, advantages wise, it's just so hard because you don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. And it really spoke into fruition how much Geneva kind of fooled the other side, or at least Summer and Abby, by having her still be an option to them, because they never figured out that, they kind of assumed that Derek played the idol on Austin just because Austin was the biggest threat and was a lucky guess. They never knew about Geneva telling Addie about the Austin plan. So I guess it worked out. I mean, it didn't work out. I don't know what I'm saying. But you know what I mean. I guess it just spoke into fruition that she kind of duped them. But that being said, Geneva has a good point. So she actually wanted to vote with she's put a lot of points. She actually wanted to vote with the Maroon 9, and form a final 3 with Abby and Summer and a final 4 including Addie, probably because she sees a better game with them in the long run. That said, what do you guys think? Do you think in the end she does vote with them? Like creating this still fake I'm with you kind of, what happened? I voted for Austin because I thought Derek will play it on Mike, yada yada yada. Do you think it was a good idea to keep this whole stig up, or do you think she should have just joined Zeleny and Mike and just voted out Andrew?
I think it was a good idea, but everything comes with risks. I don't know how it's going to play out, but I definitely think trying to play to both sides in a very delicate fashion, I think that's a good way to go about things in Survivor. So kudos to her for making it work as long as she has.
Yeah.
I like.
Oh, sorry.
You go, Seb.
I was just gonna say she definitely played it in a very delicate way, which is very effective, like for Geneva. So I think she did the right thing.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, Geneva really found herself in an interesting position here because, as you can see from here, Summer gave me an ultimatum and said I would lose 6 jury votes if I did not vote the way she told me to. I did not respect that, so I voted out Austin since the idol would be played on him. So, like, yes, see, this is where I was like kind of conflicted. Yes, I could see like, okay, maybe Geneva, sticking with this kind of like I'm with you, but I'm not with you, posing that I'm with you would benefit her, but would it really benefit her? If I don't really know.
No, it's hard. I also
really
didn't know that happened.
Yeah.
It's a tough situation too to be put in because, the whole reason why she's in this situation because Summer still thinks that Geneva's with her. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, okay, what happens next week now? Is Geneva still is Summer still going to give Geneva this ultimatum because Summer still believes Geneva's with her? Or should Geneva just vote with Zeleny and just solidify that split right then and there?
Sure.
I don't know. I really don't know.
So much risk, very little reward so far in the action, other than, knowing what the other side was doing and being able to vote accordingly.
Yeah. And we even see at the end of this episode that Addie, when talking to Geneva, is kind of like, and Geneva herself was kind of, which side do I vote for? Ultimately, it wasn't in the edit, but she clearly stated that she was going with the Zeleny side. She voted out Austin, stuff like that. But Addie's kind of like, Geneva's kind of being sketchy. Mike's like, I want to target Geneva. She's a big threat. She's playing both sides. Where do you think Geneva goes from here?
I think it's going to come time soon that she's going to have to solidify herself with a side before she gets caught in the middle. Because that's scary.
Yeah, right. Being caught in the middle is not a situation you want to be in. And I think whenever that does happen, if it happens, I'm sure it will happen eventually. That's usually how these things end up in Survivor. It's not going to look the best for her. And I feel like some people are already having trouble trust her. So once it gets out, that's just not going to be the best for her game, because no one's going to really want to work with her long term and take her to the end.
No, it's 100%. I totally agree with you, Madison. There, it's like you're playing, and if anyone can, Geneva can do this. She's playing like a delicate line of being that like double agent when her like main alliance knows that, and her main alliance knows that she's a threat because she is that double agent. So that's why Mike and Addie are kind of like, okay, now she's getting a little bit too powerful. So we'll see what happens. We'll really see what happens. And last but not least, let's bring it back to the original vote here. Let's bring it back to Andrew. So this is the big Andrew episode. Love the kid to death. Don't get me wrong. He's excited because he filmed his 4th vlog that day. Trust me, that is not a record. Not even close. Pretty sure Madison and Sabrina both filmed more than 4 in 1 week. But this was a great day for him. I mean, I saw it. It wasn't really shown that much in the episode, but I saw it throughout the week. He was talking to Sean. He was talking to Austin. He was trying his hardest to, make these moves, get as much as he can before he ultimately got voted out. But then he was really excited about Tribal. He said it himself. This is the first time he felt that rush since episode 2 when he was on the block. Even referring to his lettuce that.
The irony was just too much.
Oh yeah, so sad. So sad. I guess, what did you guys see from, because I mean, if they were to just play the steal a vote, this could have been totally different in my opinion. So what did you guys view from Andrew this episode? Do you think his intentions were right and he is like a smart player if he had like the time to do so?
Yeah, I actually had a feeling Andrew would make it to the end, so I was a little bit wrong with that in my predictions. But I think when I saw him stepping it up, and I saw him kind of just like really playing harder this week, I got excited for him. But it backfired so horribly when they didn't play the steal a vote and the idol was played. And it's just, I don't know really how you could avoid that if you're not going to play the advantage that your side has, but I feel bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, he definitely was starting to fulfill his potential as a player. And he knew that playing hard is what he had to do. And like Madison said, and what happened, unfortunately it backfired. But I guess looking at it from a viewer standpoint, I think it's just cooler to try to make those big moves and go out trying than just to get further and not really have as much as many credentials, I guess, that could take you to the goal of winning. So.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And Jack, I hope you're proud of your boy Andrew, because he really fought hard to avenge your death, as well as Eli too. And more power to Andrew. Unfortunately, it wasn't the right plan.
But the passion was there.
The passion was there. The energy was there. He was number 1 in my power rankings for that week. But alas. So let's talk about that tribal. So Mike plays the idol. there was a little bit of a murmur where Mike was like, I don't trust Geneva, maybe playing the idol on Austin and she votes for me, then I'm out. Like, is that a risk I'm willing to take? Mike eventually plays the idol on Austin. Austin is saved. He had the most votes because Geneva voted for Austin. And Addie voted for Austin. I'm not sure, but what did you guys think about that tribal again? 2 weeks in a row, Austin is saved. Back to back, idol was played on someone else, causing the other side to flop, and it's just wild. What did you guys think?
Crazy. I mean, Austin has to be feeling good. Like 2 times narrowly, I guess, escaping elimination. I gotta say, my heart was kind of stopping there for a sec when Mike played the idol for Austin, but that first vote was for Mike. I was like, no, you better not go home. He didn't. Worked out, but for a second there, I was like, oh no. And I think judging by his facial expression, he was thinking the same thing. But
yeah, definitely a big play. Austin is a lucky kid. Jeez. To get saved by an idol 2 weeks in a row, like not even playing it for yourself, like someone else playing it for you, like that is lucky. But I mean, Mike made a big move, like playing it for Austin. I think that was definitely a very good tribal for Mike.
Fair enough. And let's bring up this statement by Shrew97. Being saved by idols twice aren't yours is such a feat. So we saw murmurings of Austin kind of like, I want to know who they're voting for so we can play the idol on them. And Austin was saved twice in a row. Do you think that's skill on Austin's part, or do you think that's more luck? What do you guys think?
I think that it does speak to Austin's ability and strategy in the game, because to have multiple people trust you that much and have an alliance that strong, you have to be playing a killer social game. Because I just know myself, I would be overthinking and just thinking everyone's out to get me. So the fact that not 1 but 2 people trusted him enough to play the idol for him has got to be like just a huge win on his social game. But I don't know. I think at the end, if he were to make it there, I hope he does, but I think people sitting next to him in a possible final tribal could use that against him. Be like, oh, he should have been out of here twice, and if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't be here.
That's fair.
Fair. I think it could definitely go both ways, 100%. Like Austin can play up that social game, but also like ultimately like that is still like just very lucky, because like they didn't have to do that, but like they did. So it can definitely be seen like 2 different ways if Austin were to make it to the end by a jury. Fair
enough. So at this point, we're waiting on Andrew, but his computer is acting up. Classic Andrew. So at the end of this episode, Andrew goes home, here's a good question. So Andrew, throughout this episode, is trying to find these strategies, right? One of the strategies that he pulls is telling Austin that he's the snake. Now, to get the spotlight or whatever off of Sean. Now, do you think this was a good idea? Because at the end of the day, they voted for Andrew because he was the snake.
No, I don't think that was a good idea. I don't think that was going to work out for him in any way, shape, or situation. So another shout out to Austin's social game, because he was just getting more information about the goings on. So I don't know, not the best move, but I understand it was what his heart was telling him to do.
Yeah, definitely. I do not think was the best move. If Andrew were to like actually say that though, like I think we have to go back to what Erica was saying, like we have the numbers, use the advantage. Like I think that's the only like scenario if he were to say that. But like even then, I just like don't know if it's a good move.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's bring in the king himself to ask him. Andrew, welcome. You're
Hello, everyone.
Bittersweet.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, this episode was named after you. On a revenge tour. I hope you like your shining moment, as quick as it was. But like I said, I mean, you were number 1 of my power rankings this week. I really thought you had the enough gumption to pull off this revenge tour. Just tell me why didn't you just use Abby's steal a vote or cancel a vote and just vote 5-4 and call it a day?
I mean, if we're being totally honest, I didn't even watch this episode. I can't watch this episode because it's too cringy. I remember what happened. I can't go through that again. Honestly, if I remember this correctly, I think that was our original plan. But then once again, it's the same thing that happened when we tried to get out Austin when Jack went home. We tried to make moves that were too big. I think Jack said this to me afterwards. He said you were swinging for the fences when you should have been hitting singles. That was at least my downfall. I kept trying to make big moves where I could really rattle the other team. I could really put ourselves in a position to win rather than just playing a numbers game, which would have been much easier. And I think another reason was I thought maybe was one of the reasons I went along with this plan was I thought we could actually maybe get Geneva and Addie to flip.
Mm-hmm.
In hindsight, that wasn't going to happen. But at the time, I genuinely thought it could work. And up until basically when I got there and I saw kind of what the vibes were, I basically was pretty sure I was going home. So I guess I'll just say we didn't do it because I was trying to do too much. And I think I was too trusting in other people are the two main things that got me sent home.
Yeah, it was rough though, because I think if they pulled off, if somehow Geneva and Addie flip to your side, I think you have a good shot. I really do. And Mike glorified you so much during the season, saying Andrew's kind of doing nothing. I think he's a genius. I think he's Jack's kind of like hidden secret. Man, I wish we could have seen more of it.
Yeah, everyone thought I was this big. I had never watched Survivor before I played this. I had no idea what was going on, which is probably why I got sent home. If I had any sort of knowledge, it probably would have worked. And I think the thing is, I think at a time, Geneva and Addie were ready to flip.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember who told us. Someone, I think they talked to Summer afterwards, and they said, look, we were going to do it, but then we didn't like your tone when you spoke with us or something like that, so they ended up not doing it.
Do you blame Summer being the messenger? Because Summer and Abby are kind of the two people that were talking to Addie and Geneva.
I don't know. I don't blame Summer for at least me going home. I think that was a product of my own lack of understanding of the game and trusting other people too much. I think Summer could potentially be to blame for maybe Jack going home. But also, even then again, that was a group effort because I think each of us in the Maroon 5 or 6, I guess, alliance, we each thought that someone else was talking to Austin and no one was actually talking to Austin. So we had no idea why, in hindsight, we had no reason to believe he was going to actually vote with us when we all thought he was he definitely would. Which, in hindsight, he obviously wouldn't because no one barely talked to him. We talked to him like maybe the day of. I think it was just lack of communication, I think.
So maybe not playing a great social game. I redact some previous statements.
Yeah.
Mike's in the chat. Also credit to Geneva's vote for Austin. It forced the need for me to play the idol. If she doesn't and votes Andrew, it would have been 5 Andrew, 4 Austin, 1 me. Yeah. I mean, it was bittersweet. Hopefully you got that lettuce that you were I mean, I don't know if you didn't see the episode.
What did I say?
You were growing out lettuce because you didn't cut your hair the entire season.
Oh yeah. Well, that's actually a funny story. So I think at that point I hadn't cut my hair. I think like maybe this happened first week of March.
Yeah, it was around there.
I didn't get a haircut from then until early July. And that was because I had my mom forced me to because we were going on vacation. She had to take some nice pictures. But then after that, I didn't cut my hair from July to a couple weeks ago. So the lettuce, it came in a bit, maybe not to the full extent I wanted it to, but there was at least something there.
No, yeah, you made reference to it. We kind of joked about it earlier, but you were like, "I'm never cutting this hair until I get voted off, and that's gonna be at the end when I have a full head of lettuce." And you get off like 10 minutes later.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I can't. I don't think I can watch this episode. It's too much of me being cringy and hypocritical and just fucking myself over.
No.
Why I thought it would be? I can't even remember what my thinking was for saying that I was the snake. I really don't. I'm trying to think back. I had some sort of flawed logic at the time, but looking back, I can't remember it. I think it's because it was just so flawed. It didn't make any sense.
I think it was if I interject here, you tried to barter information with Austin.
Yes.
To kind of ask Austin who has the idol, where is the idol? I'll give you like my snake advantage, like what it means, if you tell me who has it. And then Austin kind of flips around and being like, "Oh, if you're the snake, I'll just vote you out."
Yeah, so even then, I could have just done that and just told him that it was actually Sean. I think probably my biggest flaw in this game was I played too much for my friends and my alliance in the game rather than playing for myself. I don't think I don't even think I ever even attempted to make a single move that benefited me over everyone else. Every move that I either made or tried to make was in the best interest of the 5 or 6 of us, depending on what it was, as a whole, and rather than for my game. And that's where I think lack of understanding and knowledge of Survivor really, killed me. I just ate a lot of chicken parm. I'm a little bit full right now.
No, fair enough. And Merry Christmas, Andrew.
Thank you. Of course. Do you like my my sweater? It says it's Santa Claus, and it says,
"Mom,
ask your mom if I'm real."
Very nice, very nice, classic. And Geneva, don't worry, I'll get to that later. I just need to focus on Andrew right now. Get his last song in before we let him go. Andrew, I really loved you in the season. Just because you added a fresh tone. We love competitors who don't really know what they're doing, and based on the progression of the season, like this is the week where I really thought you got your understanding of what the game was, and I really saw that in season 1 of Sean. And with Sean, he got voted out 3rd, which is one of the main reasons why I put you high in the power rankings this week, because I thought you could have resembled what Sean exactly did, because Sean didn't know what he was doing until like someone, his biggest ally, got voted off, and then boom, I thought it was gonna be the same thing with you. That being said, if you were to play again, with a season under your belt, similar to Sean, what would you do differently?
Absolutely, play less of a nice guy, play for my team role, and play more of a backstabbing. Play for myself. Fuck everyone else. I don't know. Like, am I allowed to swear on this? I don't know.
Yeah, you can.
But yeah, I think I would definitely, now that I actually have a clue of what's going on, I think I would play the game a lot differently. I think I played the game exactly how I thought. I mean, going in, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna play the guy that has like a good time, doesn't take it like super seriously, and like just try and just do my best, because I really had no idea what I was doing. And now that I've actually watched a couple seasons, good for me. I've seen like 3 seasons now. And so I understand that it's not, as much as it is a team game, it's very much a solo game in which you always have to be thinking what's best for your game, even if that is at the expense of the people you're working with. Like, something that I keep thinking of is, what if that week I had gone to that meeting with Austin and I said, I'll tell you who our snake is if you put me not in the bottom of your alliance. Like, what if I had just completely flipped and gone over there, voted out Sean, and then, I mean, what even was the advantage of voting out the snake post-merge? Because I can't remember.
There was a challenge advantage, an individual challenge advantage, and it would be a random draw.
So I think if I had done that, I would have probably burned my alliance on M5. But that probably would have ended up putting me in a better position anyway. So, I mean, it's just something to look back on. You think, what if? But I think at the time, that never really crossed my mind. That my mind was like, all right, I need to make. All I think is, I need to make a big move to avenge Jack. That was all I could think of, and I didn't think of just, all right, let's just slowly work our way towards getting back into a position after losing members of our alliance the last 2 weeks or so.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we saw the passion. We saw it, and like Jack said, you went for the home run, which is it could have worked. You could have hit the home run, but I think you had a double, which is still something. But hey, at least we got to see it. Madison, Sabrina, do you have any questions for Andrew before we let him go? Or any comments?
I feel like you had a lot of people rooting for you. So at least from that standpoint, playing the nice guy, no one hates you, I don't think. So you got that going for you.
That's true. You were probably in the Maroon 5. You were the least hated.
I didn't know. I didn't know we were that hated. Well, I felt like I don't know. I mean, I guess so. I mean, I guess it makes sense. We kind of thought we were above everyone else, but it clearly wasn't true. Clearly, we were a bunch of kids who didn't know what the hell they were doing. But I mean, yeah, I guess I can see it. I don't know. Shout out to all my Andrew fans. I don't think there's very many of you, but I know you're out there.
Oh yeah. Sab, any comments?
You tried your best. I don't know. But you know what? The heart was there, and I think that's more than enough.
I mean, yeah, I think if I had any sort of, I don't know, understanding of what I was doing, I probably could have worked on that situation a lot better. Like if I was in that situation again in a different season, I think I would definitely play that completely differently.
Oh yeah. And in my opinion, you ended up on top, if anything. You were the one to get out, and they got you out. So alas.
Yeah. Quick question.
What's up?
So after you got voted out, at that point, who did you want to win at that?
Good question.
I mean, I was just rooting for my people. I was rooting for Erica, Summer, Abby, and Sean. So it was more of whoever could stay in the longest. I won't say anything, but there was one of us who made it decently far. So I was rooting for that person.
Ooh, little sneak peek.
Little teaser for you. I don't think that gives too much away, right? That's not too bad.
That's not bad. I like that.
But yeah, there's one person who makes it decently far, and that's who I was rooting for.
All right.
Very nice. But yeah, there you guys have it. A little sneak peek from Andrew.
Take that as you will.
That's it, Andrew. Thank you again. I really think if you have the opportunity to play again, you'll definitely crush it. I think if it went another way, or you did the easier way this week, you could have ended up winning. But alas, you got voted out. But thank you again for playing, and thank you for coming on Christmas Day. And hope you have a great Christmas with your family, as well as New Year's and everything.
Of course. Thank you all. Merry Christmas to all of our viewers out there. Happy New Year. Stay safe, stay healthy, all that jazz.
Oh yeah.
And see you around.
All right. Thank you, Andrew.
Awesome. See you guys.
An icon.
Truly an icon. And hopefully we'll be seeing more of him, as he is only a sophomore. He played his freshman year. So he'll be around. That said, really, really wish we saw more of Andrew there, but alas. I mean, saying alas a lot this live show. Let's get back to these. So Geneva, also I sent this earlier, but Addie and me not voting Mike means there's 1-2 votes max on Mike, which means he would not go home in any scenario. And Andrew could be sent home with 3 votes. Andrew was willing to flip until a certain point, with being told I'd lose 6 votes. People right before you vote you, Sean. Crazy enough, though. Okay, fair enough. I mean, it really came down to whether Geneva would vote for Mike. And honestly, Mike made the right move in playing it for Austin. Geneva made the right move in playing it for Geneva made the right move in voting for Austin so that Mike could play it for Austin, and then boom. But yeah. Jacob K, Merry Christmas, Andrew. You're a loyal viewer once again. We got to get you on one of these live shows one of these days. I need to see this face, the man behind the chats. Loyal fan. Yeah. So let's talk about next week. So preview, things get heated up. Another idol is put back into play. We see someone looking for it. Idol hunts back on, and we see the auction with Sean's advantage looming. So Madison, what do you think happens next week? Who do you think is on the chopping block, as well as Sabrina? Who do you think could be someone that's on the chopping block, and who do you think at the end of it wins?
Yeah, I think Geneva is going to be on the chopping block. Especially, I could see in that little sneak peek of the next episode that she was searching for an idol yet again.
Mm-hmm.
And I think no one in the game at this point is questioning her loyalty to the game and her dedication. So I think at some point that's going to kind of stab her in the back. Also, interesting info about Summer using fighting words, kind of about Geneva to kind of attempt to switch her over to their side. I think that's going to come to fruition a little bit, and we might see Summer on the chopping block.
Okay. And Sab, who do you think will be on the chopping block?
I think Madison definitely brings up a good point about Geneva being a target. I mean, especially after this episode, I think it's very clear how much of an influence she has on this game at this point. I think Mike could possibly be on the chopping block, and like Madison was saying, even Summer, because this is the second week in a row that for her alliance, the vote just hasn't gone their way. So it's what's the source of all of this going wrong? So I think it's going to be very interesting how they unpack what just happened after this vote.
And here's another thing I want to add in there. So Abby still has her cancel a vote. Sean, if he plays his cards right, gets an idol. If he stealthily grabs it, that's that side. Even though they have the numbers not on their side, 4-5, that's an idol and a cancel a vote with a potential other idol being out there. Do you think they're just gonna whittle them down, or do you think some way, somehow, Erica, Sean, Abby, and Summer pull it off?
Ooh, I love the story of an underdog, but that's a lot to try and all play at the same time. I think there's more of a likelihood of them kind of splitting up and working with other people to try and further themselves in the game. But if they can pull off something like that, I think that'd be awesome and would certainly make good television. But lots of idols. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen in this season, anything's possible. It will definitely take a lot of work. Every single thing has to go right if they were to come back as the underdog, and that's just really hard to tell, if that could even possibly happen. So I definitely agree with a lot of the things that Madison said.
And Sharu, I will not give anything away, but if this happens again for the third time in a row where Austin gets saved by an idol, I want you in this chat next week saying I told you so. We'll see if that happens. And that's a good prediction. I mean, Jacob gave a prediction of what Andrew was talking about. Who do you think of the Maroon 9 would make it the farthest, even though they have the numbers not on their side?
It's hard to predict, honestly. I think Erica's playing a really smart game. I think she's being very careful who she talks to and what she says. I also liked in that one blog how she was 100% right in saying stop telling other people the plan. I think she has a good plan in her head, and if she can act on that, I think she can make it far.
Yeah, I do agree with Madison there. She's playing a very good game right now. It's just the only thing that worries me about her game is all the things that happened leading up to the merge. A lot of the people that she was aligned with lost trust in her, and now that her alliance is dwindling, it's I don't really know how many different directions she can go. And if anyone would even try to trust her again.
No, yeah. In Derek's vlog, Mike reached out to Erica saying, "What's the plan?" And Erica was like, "What's it to you?" So there's definitely some tension there. But Jacob brings up a good point. The Austin Mike Erica alliance was once a thing. That's why I have my eye on Erica. Do you think there's any shot that Erica somehow like mends the bridges with the other side?
It'd take a lot. It would take a lot.
Especially after her "What's it to you?" I forgot about that, but I don't know if you can come back from saying fighting words like that, but we'll see.
It's crazy. Jack rubbed off on Erica. It's amazing. I love it. Jacob, I think she has the most room to rebound. Geneva, why do I keep voting on Austin out? Will I do it a third time? Will Austin be saved the third time? We'll see. I also feel Erica's the most likely to outlast the remaining Maroons. Very interesting. Very interesting. So, Sab, of course, you know what ends up in the end. But Madison, who would be, or Sab too, who would be your winner's pick at this point? And has it changed from the beginning? I guess is another good question.
Well, my winner's pick at the beginning was Nissan.
Ooh, great pick. Great pick. Nissan actually rejoins the game at final 3-2 and
There
wins.
we go. But yeah, so that didn't work out. I don't know. I think Mike's playing a really good game. I don't know, but so is Austin. There's so many contenders for that winner spot, but I think I'm gonna go with Mike.
Mike. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
And then Sabrina, who was your winner's pick at least?
I
Or
think
who-
I said Geneva last week, and I'll stick to it because I am a Geneva fan. So
and
she can whittle her way out of this.
and just to reiterate, Nissan was still robbed. You know, just
I
put that out there.
have very strong opinions about that vote.
Guru says Mike as well. Yeah. I mean, let's do something cool here. So let's give percentages, right? So I'll say a name and then give me a percentage of. It doesn't have to equal to 100. Don't worry, math is not my strong suit. I'll say a name and what is the percentage chance that this person wins, with 9 people left. All right, Abby. 5%. Wow.
Well, is it out of 100?
I mean, the most you can do is 100%. It doesn't.
Oh,
After going through all of this, you don't have to add it up to.
I thought everyone in the pie had to be in 100.
We can't do quick math like that.
No, I can't do quick math. If you want, yeah, go for it. This is supposed to be quick.
Okay, then 20.
I'll give her like 17. Give her 17.
I'll never love it. Sean. I don't know why I'm going out of order, but
Is the question like who makes it to the end?
who wins? Like, what's their percentage of winning?
I think Sean's too much of a threat. I think like 10.
Yeah, I'd go with 10.
Okay. Austin.
Solid 40.
40.
I'd say like 40, 45. Like he's definitely playing a very strong game right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Geneva.
50. It just depends who she sticks with.
Even though I don't know, I'm gonna give it like a 35 or to a 40 just because right now she's a very big threat and there's still like a long way to go.
Yeah.
No,
So that's like a very hard thing
making it
to,
there too.
yeah.
That's a hard part. Derek.
Say a good 30, 35.
I think 40 for me, for Derek.
Mm-hmm. Mike.
Mike.
I think he's got like a 50% chance.
I'm going to give him 60.
Ooh, that's a high number. That's some high praise for Mike. If
Yeah.
Mike's in the chat, shout out to Mike. Well, Erica.
I'll give Erica 35, you said? I was going to say like 40, 45.
Okay.
I see it.
Addie.
10.
Yeah, I'd probably say a 10 to 15.
Ooh, interesting. And Summer. Nothing grounds it up.
I think she's probably like in my top 3 for the winner. So 52.
52.
I will go with a 40 to 45 again.
All right. So based on those predictions, if I can do some quick math here, right now you have the simulated final 3 as Mike, Austin, Summer, with Geneva an outside chance looking in.
That sounds right.
Very interesting.
I don't know how that would happen, but individually.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Well, with that said, I want to wish everyone a Merry. Well, first, I'll give you guys an opportunity to just introduce yourself, who you are, and I don't know, post your social media or whatever. So, Sabrina, you're first.
Oh, God. I'm Sabrina. I'm going to be playing in a future season, like Luke said. My Instagram, oh my God, what is my Instagram? I'm pretty sure it's Sabrina_Mauro, MAURO. Yeah, it's my social, my only really notable social. So that's it.
Amazing. And now I'll go. So how's it going, guys? Cutting off Madison here. Thank Mike. I send the love right back to you. I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and thank you guys for watching this season. The season has been Idlegeddon, but it's been a definitely a different season from season 1, and I couldn't change it for the world. A lot of advantages, a lot of strategy, and it really had. It shows a lot from the players of Syracuse University that they were able to keep up with this as well as a full school curriculum, because I don't know if I would be able to be honest. But yeah, follow me on social, Luke Uriarty. Watch the rest of the season. It's a good season. Exit total layout, and last but not least, Madison.
Hello, my name's Madison. I'm from Kennett Square, Pennsylvania. I'm a senior. I'm playing in a future season of Survivor. Big Survivor fan. I take a lot of notes, but my social is at Madison A. Brownie, and my dog's Instagram is at Lily B. Brownie if you're interested in following my dog.
Ooh, another dog. Shout out to Oliver. Hopefully we get to see more of Oliver.
Yeah.
Damn, I blew my introduction. Damn. All right.
Just so that Mike can feel some more love. We'll end out the like this. Mike showed an homage to actually no, I will actually end out the episode something different. Mike will still feel the love though, don't worry.
Yes.
So, Jason Ding will be in another post episode. But that being said, thank you to everyone coming out in the chat as well as here. Madison, Sabrina, thank you again for coming on short notice. And you'll see Jason later on in another post episode. Next episode, New Year's Day, 2021. Start the new year off with a bang. It's gonna be a good episode. I think we'll have Jake Niebuhr back on, as well as Ethan back on, and I think someone else from the Instagram poll. Make sure to check out our Instagram at Syrvivor Syracuse. And yeah, everyone have a good night and a safe holiday.
Thanks, Luke.
Thank you, Luke.